You've probably learned by now that metals lose electrons and that nonmetals gain electrons. And we know that when that happens, that causes a metal to get a positive charge, and that causes a nonmetal to get a negative charge. And we also know that those two things happen to fulfill the octet rule. What we have not really talked about is where those electrons go to and come from. And so as it happens, they come from other elements. So when we have a metal and a nonmetal come together, they form what is called an ionic bond. And so I want to show you how that works. From your periodic table, we know that sodium gets 1 valence electron and chlorine gets 7. So we know that sodium needs to lose that 1 valence electron and chlorine needs to bring in 1 valence electron. So what happens is this. Now that these have charges, we know that a positive and a negative will be attracted to each other. And so this positive and negative attract each other and they form a compound, which is NaCl, the name of which is sodium chloride. Here we have magnesium and chloride. So we know that magnesium needs to lose an electron, and this chlorine now has a full octet. But we have a little bit of a problem. This magnesium still has an electron remaining. So what do we do about that? There's no problem here. We just bring another chlorine to the party. And so then this magnesium can lose its electron there. And so then we have this. And then we would write this formula, the name of that would be magnesium chloride. What if I trade that chloride for a nitrogen? Maybe this one doesn't seem so obvious to you because that magnesium is going to lose both of its valence electrons and it's going to be 2+, and it is now satisfied the octet rule. But nitrogen still has a gap over here. What do? You guessed it, you bring another magnesium, so that goes up here. But now we have a problem. Now this nitrogen has a satisfied octet, but this magnesium still has 1 left over. So now what? Right again, we bring another nitrogen. Oh, still got a problem here. This magnesium is now satisfied its octet. That nitrogen is still missing some. Here we go. And now everything has satisfied the octet rule. And so you can see that we have 1, 2, 3 magnesiums, nitrite. A couple of details to point out here. We always write the metal first. We always write the nonmetal second. Metals retain their same name, magnesium. Nonmetals gain an "ide" at the end for the name, so this becomes nitride. One more note, this method works really well with the tall column cations and anions. If you're going to think about transition metals, then we want to look at a different way of considering how we're going to form these compounds, and you want to just consider them based on charges and forming neutral compounds. But this is a great way to get your initial understanding of ionic compounds and how and why they form.